Okay, so I'm actually going to do 4 of the base conversions from our homework to help you guys out, and then I'm going to leave the rest of them for you guys for practice. So what I'm going to do is convert 85 base 10 into base 2. So the thing that we need to think about in terms of base 2 is what we're looking at as our values. What are our powers of 2? So we want to start usually on our right with singles. 2 to the 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 cubed is 8. 2 to the 4th is 16. 2 to the 5th is 32. And 2 to the 6th is 64. And that's going to be the largest number that we will need for base 2 for both of our conversions. I'm going to go through converting the number 85 into base 2, which leaves you all to convert the number 103 into base 2 on the homework. So, converting the number 85, we're going to start with our hat method. And we're going to put the 85 inside the hat. And if you look at our list over here on the right in the top, 2 to the 6th, or 64, does go into 85. So the number that we put here on the right is the number of times 64 goes into 85, right? And that happens only one time. So just like regular division, we subtract out what we've now removed. And I'm going to jump over here. I have to check 2 to the 5th next. And I don't know if I made that crystal clear in class, but you have to go down the line and check every single power from the first one that you're able to take out all the way down to the bottom. And so our value here is 21. And the question that we have now is, does 2 to the 5th, or 32, go into 21? And the answer is it does not. Right, so this goes in 0 times. 32 doesn't divide 21. So it goes in 0 times. So we're going to just subtract 0 and keep going with the next power of 2. I don't know why my box is getting smaller, but I write way too big for that. So let's make that a little bit bigger. The next power down the line is 2 to the 4th. And I'm still looking at 21. Now 2 to the 4th is over here at 16 up in our top right. And that does go in. So number of times 16 goes into 21. And that goes in one time, which means we want to take away a 16. And again, we're going to jump to the next power of 2, which is 2 cubed. And I now have 21 minus 16, which leaves me with 5. And now the question is, does 8, or 2 cubed, go into 5? And the answer is no. So 8 doesn't go into, wow, I don't know how to spell go. Or into, go into 5. So again, we're going to subtract 0. And we're going to go to 5 again and try our next power of 2, which is 2 squared. And then the question is, how many times, right? The number of times 4 goes into 5. And that happens again one time. So we take away 4. And we're left with 1. And we try again. 2 to the 1 down our line here. And this is 2, so this is going to be 0. 2 doesn't go into 1. So we're going to subtract 0 again. And I'm going to move this way in my video, because if I take 1 and subtract 0, I get 1. And my leftover, the one final power I have to check is 2 to the 0. Which is equal to 1. So this does go in one time. and I'm going to make sure that I get a remainder of 0. So, in order to write this value, I need to work my way from the power of 6 all the way to the power of 0. So this number looks like this. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, base 2. Notice that because we're in base 2, the only digits allowed are 0 and 1. Remember from class, we can only use digits that are less than the base we are working with. So that really limits us when we're base 2. This is called a binary base. Okay, same video, don't leave. I'm going to do the next line down. I'm going to convert something into base 3. So let me go to my next slide here. I'm actually going to switch numbers, and I'm now going to jump to the right-hand side of your little chart that's in your homework, and I'm going to convert 103 base 10 into base 3. Okay, so this is my example number 2 for the video. And then this is base 3, so we want to write these out, right, like we did before. 3 to the 0 is 1, 3 to the 1 is 3, 3 squared is 9, 3 cubed is 27, 3 to the 4th is 81. Okay, so I'm going to leave my little chart here because it's going to be used for reference all the way down. I stopped at 81 because 81 is the biggest number that goes in, that is a power of 3 that's going to go into 103. So we're going to start with our hat, 103 inside, and 3 to the 4th on the outside. So this is going to be the number of times 81 goes into 103. And that only happens one time. So we're going to want to subtract that 81. And just like for the 2's, we have to check the next power down the line, which is 3 cubed. And if we take 103 and subtract 81, we get 22 as the result. So the question is, does 27 go into 22, right? And unfortunately, 27 is too big, so we're going to have to jump to our next power down. So this is very much like when we were dealing with converting to base 2. All right, we got a lot of zeros in that number too. So this, we're going to jump to 3 squared, and I still am looking at the number 22. So this is going to be the number of times, and remember 3 squared is 9, right? It goes into 22 now. So 9 is only going to go in there twice, because 9 times 2 gives me 18. So that's the number that I subtract. Okay, let me just clarify really, really quickly, right? This was 3 squared times 2, right? So it's the number on the outside times the number on the right, okay? Which is always what we've been doing, but for every example we've seen so far, this has been only a single value. So we've only subtracted the power. Just showing you where that came from in case we forgot. So our next step is to, let me write the power, is we're going to check 3 to the 1. And when I subtract 18 from 22, I get 4. So this is going to be the number of times 3 goes into 4. And that only happens once. So I'm going to subtract again, minus 3. Now I have to check 3 to the 0. And I'm looking at 1. So I'm going to write really low on the screen. I apologize for that. But this is a singles, so it happens only one time in order to get rid of that single digit. So number of times 1 goes into 1. And so this means that our final result are these numbers on the right-hand side of the hats, right? So our final answer is 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, base 3. So 103 base 10 is equal to 10,211 base 3. All right, I'm going to make one more video to help you guys with 2 additional problems on the homework. So you won't really have that many to do on your own once I'm done with my videos. So this is just to help you all out. Keep up the good work.